I'm Fran.
I'm Danielle.
These are our coffees.
Let's talk.
Danielle, we're both super energetic today. We've been crazy busy with real estate, which is so good to see it get busy again. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's a good sign. Things are still picking up, and that's great.
Yeah.
And we're working with a lot of new buyers.
Yeah. Yeah, so we kind of thought we would go over like some maybe oopsies. I don't want to call them mistakes because it's just learning.
Yeah, but mistakes. We all learn from mistakes. Mistakes aren't a bad thing.
True.
But we are here to discuss what those mistakes would be for first-time buyers, so that you can try to avoid them.
Yeah, because if we can teach you how to avoid them, then maybe you won't have any issues from them. So, number one, knowing how much you can afford.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a big one. And it really, you have to do your research and hook up with a good realtor, hook up with a good lender. A good realtor is not going to let you look for houses that are outside of your reach.
Right.
Okay. So
things doesn't mean like, say you set your budget at $300,000 and your realtor's sending you houses that are at $325,000. It's not because she or he is expecting you to pay $325,000. It's just that you can always make a lower offer.
Exactly.
Maybe it will not be $300,000 or $325,000. It will be lower. So there's always that.
Yeah, but a good realtor is also going to make sure you go through the process in a correct way by getting pre-approved with a lender before you start looking out there blindly.
So that kind of leads us to mistake number 2, which is house shopping before you mortgage shop.
Yes.
And we do mean mortgage shop because that's step number 3.
Yes. So we really want to make sure that you hook up with not just one lender. We'll give you some good recommendations, 2, 3 good recommendations. You should go to at least 2 lenders to make sure you're getting a good deal.
Make sure they all have different products.
They do. Yeah. There are the big government products that really there's no wiggle room in between lenders, but there are some really good lender-based opportunities.
Yeah, because they have incentives too for depending on how you want to work your mortgage. So definitely I would say just don't be afraid to shop.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying pull like crazy credit everywhere you go and knock your credit score down, but definitely shop around and see what your options are.
But if you do your shopping within a certain window, it's not going to affect your credit score because they look at it as you rate shopping.
Right. So the other thing with credit and your mortgage is make sure that you are checking your credit. Don't just not know where you're at. And that goes for everything. You should always be checking your credit, making sure that your credit score is not taking a dive for some reason, and making sure that you pull that full credit report at least once a year and going over see if there's any errors or mistakes, because there are things that happen.
There's errors. There are bad people out there. That happened to me. So I had to do some big repairs because there was a lot of fraud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that happened. I want to say it was before COVID. So 5-6 years ago.
It happens. There really are some people out there that just don't care about you and I. And
And it's not a big deal as long as you know that it's happening.
But if you're checking it regularly, right? I mean, there's all kinds of, I'm not recommending or not recommending, but there's like stuff like Credit Karma or things like that where you can go on and check. And if there's something on there, you can immediately, you're talking within days and hours that you're addressing it, as opposed to once a year. And you're like, oh my God, what is this? And how do I take care of it?
Some banks are even using something called CreditWise, or some credit card companies are offering this CreditWise, where it'll give you kind of like a short synopsis of what your current credit picture looks like. But it might not show everything. So still that yearly check-in with your full credit report and really going through it is great for you to do. But you want to know where you're starting out.
And to that note, where you're starting out is your down payment. So do not exhaust everything that you have down to your penny jar in your closet for your down payment. Like, have it set aside, know what you're doing, know what your down payment should be, because there are things that you can also, and mortgages you can secure that are better mortgages if you have more money put down.
Correct. So that's another mistake that people make, is kind of underestimating what they need to come up with. So it's not just the down payment.
No,
It's the closing costs.
Yeah.
It's some lenders will make you pay for that first year homeowners insurance premium. Some you have to pay for your inspections. There's a lot that goes into it. And your realtor can really help you get a better picture of the full amount.
So just scenario, what if, right, so now this is your dream home, you've been shopping and you find it, it's your dream home, you're in love with it, you have enough for the deposit, enough for the inspection, everything is amazing, you close, you're in, that's great, something blows up.
Yeah.
So then what? Because you've exhausted every penny, so what? Now you start like maxing out credit cards to fix the kitchen sink and all this jazz, and now you're not exactly enjoying your dream home because yeah. So make sure that you put aside enough cash
for emergencies. That's absolutely. Another issue that comes into play with your credit, a lot of times people get really excited. They're under deposit for their house and they're just anxiously waiting. Yeah. And they start buying their couches on credit, and they're like, oh, but now I need a new car.
Right,
For some reason, people think because they get a new house, they need a new car.
I don't get,
Anyway, but even, buying your couches on credit, or what else do people put?
Oh, all kinds of stuff.
Like lawnmowers.
And it's stuff that you don't even realize. And then here's what happens, guys. You get to the closing and they pull everything last minute before you finally close.
You get a final credit report pull. To make sure there's no changes.
And then a little red flag goes up and they're like, I'm sorry, but the picture of you and your financials does not look the same.
Yeah.
So they put was 45 days, right? Like hold on everything. And so now you're sitting. So I highly doubt the seller is going to wait around for you to, see if you're the same situation. So do nothing. Buy nothing
after.
Get no credit. Do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, buy everything cash and that's it. Do nothing.
That's a very dangerous game to play because it could totally change the whole mortgage scenario, and you might not be able to afford your home anymore to the bank's eye.
Right. In the bank's eyes. Right. Well, so you know what? That's funny you should say that, because it's also, don't be afraid to overrule the bank. Because what I mean by that is sometimes the bank will be like, oh, on paper, you look amazing. You can afford this. And we'll just
that's where you're going.
Water. And you can, yes, you can afford a mortgage. It's like $3,000 a month. And in your mind, you're going, no, I don't think I can, because I'd like to eat more than ramen noodles. Yeah. So I would like to not have my mortgage be that much. So don't be afraid to overrule what the lender is saying and say, that's great that you're telling me on paper I can afford this much, but I know that I don't want to be what we call house poor. So.
And another way to make sure you're not house poor is to avoid another mistake that people make, which is kind of underestimating the cost of home repairs. So you want to make sure you have a little rainy day fund. You want to make sure you have an emergency fund there, because things will happen.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, my mother always told me, and I would say this is almost near impossible to do today, but she would say, never owe more for the month than what you make in a week.
Oh, that's really hard.
Yeah, right? That was my mother's. My mother's mortgage was also $60. I guess, yeah. But, so, yeah, that's...
I mean, good in theory, but I don't know if that's attainable nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And that was the way, that's what her parents taught her. That's what she tried to teach us. Yeah. But, that would be really hard to do right now. Yeah. Can you imagine?
I mean, I figure about 3 to 6 months of a little emergency
rainy day fund. Yeah. So I don't know I haven't read the statistics lately, but there used to be something that said the average American homeowner cannot afford a repair cash that exceeds so much of a dollar amount. They just do not have the money. They would never be able to do that.
It's probably as little as $1,000.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So what if your hot water heater blows up? You can't.
There you go. That's it.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. So make sure you have a nice little stash.
Well, and here's the thing, because we know I'm going through this right with my oldest, and we've made an offer on another house, and this is the thing that people don't understand, especially first time home buyers that are moving out of mom and dad's for the first time. You have nothing. it's all your parents' stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when you move in and you want to make yourself something and you don't even have a fork,
Mm-hmm.
you have to plan for that.
Yeah.
So,
But in the same respect, you have nothing. It's okay to start with nothing. It's okay to not have a couch for a little bit.
I think that it totally builds character
Yeah.
for you to have to sleep on that lumpy futon from
Mhm.
the beginning of
Yeah.
like you are going to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to save your money and how to budget because you don't want to be.
I know that's like rough nowadays because we want things now.
Yeah.
But it's okay to not have everything right away.
I agree. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree.
Okay.
And we're not talking like tent in the backyard.
No,
We're talking,
you're still in your home. It's just
Right.
you don't have your $4,000 couch yet.
Right.
Maybe you have like
$4,000
some.
couch.
I mean, come on, Frank.
Is there such a thing as a $4,000 couch?
There's an $8,000 couch that I have my eye on.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Is it like Chanel? Like,
No,
it's not a couch. Where do you even come get out of here?
I'm dead serious, brand. It is, and it's
I
not
need to
even
hear
like
this. What kind
it's
of
not
couch
even
is
a
it?
sectional. Have you heard of the brand Homebody?
No.
Okay, it's
I've heard of the person homebody. That was
No, it is a couch that's like a recliner, but it's like a sleek recliner. It doesn't look like, like a recliner. It's like, and it only needs like this much space to recline in back of the couch. So it's not like something that needs 6
What?
feet. I'll show you.
wow.
But yeah, it's $8,000. I got my eye on it. But you know what? It's okay to have that folding furniture for a little bit. while you save up for
Absolutely.
things.
Absolutely.
Or thrifting, whatever.
I love thrifting.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not my $8,000 couch, but
No, well, there's certain things
Other
I would not buy used. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what was living in that person's couch, so they can keep it. But
just Uncle John.
yeah, no, I don't think so. I didn't even know this existed, but we bought it a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is a love seat
Mm-hmm.
recliner.
Mm-hmm.
So it is this cozy little built for two little recliner, which my youngest has decided it's actually built for three.
Oh,
So he will try and climb near it. But it makes you, it's like, did you ever hear about like when you were like with the kids and you put them in the get along shirt?
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
It's like a get along shirt for me and my husband. So when I go be watching TV, I'm like, move over. And it doesn't matter what has happened during your day because you are going to
You're forced to sit next to each other.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's the only chair that we have like up in that space for us. Yeah.
That's
You're
perfect.
forced.
Yeah, but these are the most common mistakes that we're seeing with the
Yeah.
first time home buyers, and hopefully this will help you guys avoid them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, don't go out and buy the $8,000 couch
Yeah. We want to make this time as little stress as possible. So just listen to us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
why wouldn't you listen to us? We're amazing.
All right, guys.
Okay, on that note, I'm Fran.
I'm Danielle.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Subscribe to my channel.